Coming up on NFL Live, we'll explain why the Monday night game showed two teams that are diametrically opposed in the directions their season is going right now. Plus, Packers wideout Donald Driver joins us to talk about Aaron Rodgers and what he hopes doesn't happen next Monday when Green Bay goes to Minnesota to take on Brett Favre and the Vikes. And speaking of Monday night, our quarterbacks weigh in on Favre and unveiled their top three quarterbacks from Week 3. NFL Live has it all. Hi, everybody, and welcome into another edition of NFL Live. So glad you are here with us. Trey Wingo, Trent Dilfer, Tim Hasselbeck. I'm surrounded by quarterbacks. And guys, as we get set for the preparations to turn to Week 4, one team's season may have been saved, and one team's season may have been sunk Monday night in Dallas. There's Jerry World again. Cowboys finally got a win in their new digs, although it did not come easy. There was no score in this game until late in the second quarter. Jake Delhomme to Dante Rosario, and Dante hauls it in for a touchdown. Delhomme was sharp in the first half. Trent, what happened here?
Well, the first thing you see is Jake Delhomme gets the safety in single high and pins him with his eyes. And what happens from there, Tim?
Well, listen, no jam on Rosario coming off the line of scrimmage, and then an absolute dime, as Dilfer likes to say, to Rosario in the end zone.
Well, there's no defense for a perfect throw. Delhomme, 11 of 16, 132 yards in the first half, 7-0 Wade Phillips' team down until the third quarter. And then Felix Jones, who started for the injured Marion Barber, burst. That's what it's all about. Gain of 40 on the play, but he would not return. That led to a field goal, so it's still 7-3. We'll get an update on that knee injury for Felix in just a little minute. Same score, Panthers on their own 20, and this was essentially the story of the offense in the second half for the Panthers. 3 and out, sack, 10-yard loss. First sack of the season for Dallas. Cowboys now driving 2nd and 4 from the 19. Oh, trickery. Patrick Creighton, who runs left, could have been a touchdown if Gerard had gotten out there a little quicker, but a gain of 14 and a first down. Next play, 1st and goal, lead draw.
You love this football play. They show the pass, hand it off to the dot back, get the linebackers to think it's pass, clear lane to the end zone.
Shard Choice, 18 carries, 82 yards. Cowboys up 10-7. Steve Smith, a spot cross, a tad miffed, a bit irked. He would not be any happier after this. That's Muhsin Muhammad splitting double coverage. He's gone all the way. It's a touchdown. The Panthers are offensive pass interference. Offensive pass interference. You like the call, Tim?
It's definitely the right call, and you're wearing those bright blue gloves, pushing on the white jersey. Easy for the official to see it. Definitely the right call.
So it's a uniform problem. Okay, next Cowboys drive 1st and 10. Romo scrambling. He's not going to pull a Jay Cutler. No. Oh! All right, it works to Shard Choice. Gets it, but you like the idea here?
Same thing that makes you laugh in this instance will make you cry another time if you continue to make these types of decisions.
Game's too tight to do that.
It led to another field goal to make it 13-7. Then in the fourth quarter, same score. The Cowboys really had not put this game away until there. Steve Smith went out, the throw went in, and Newman went to the house. They made a 2-point conversion. Wrong route?
What do you expect?
You got to run a slant.
Every single time you got to run the slant.
It didn't happen. Cowboys win 21-7. Steve Smith not happy. Tony Romo is.
What has this week been like, and what does this win do for you?
Well, I think you're always frustrated and disappointed when you don't play up to what you feel like you're capable of, and that was me last week. But this game, there's a lot of adversity you got to go through at different times, and I think if you keep plugging away, keep working hard, and keep trying to get better, it'll come out the right way. And this week is all about going out and executing and just working your butt off all week and coming out here and trying to get a win. And I'm excited this can be to have it, I promise you that.
Congrats, Tony.
Thanks, Joe.
Tony did much better, but really the story as we go next level was this Cowboys rushing attack. They ran the ball 32 times, almost half of those runs were that lead draw to the dot back, as my good friend Trent Dilfer would say. Those 15 draw plays called resulted in 115 yards and the Cowboys' only offensive touchdown on the game with, by the way, their 3rd-string running back into Shard Choice. So, guys, as we look at this game from a Dallas Cowboys perspective, Trent, we're seeing a real cosmic shift here from that offense of Jason Garrett the last couple of years. Throw it all over the field. They are pounding the rock right now.
Absolutely. A completely different mindset by the Dallas Cowboys of how they're going to generate offense this year, and that's with physicality in the run game. And sometimes you need a schematical advantage to run the ball this consistently. The Cowboys Cowboys did it with the lead draw. The beauty of this play is you create the illusion of pass. Look at Tony Romo's eyes. Then look at the effect it has on the linebackers. They drop back like it's pass. You get the ball back to your dot back because he dots the eye tray.
Got it.
And then he goes downhill and makes big gains. It works in the red zone even better. You get these combination coverages. You get the secondary concerned with pass. Hand comes off the ball. That is pass. Linebackers think it's pass. You allow your fullback to get up on the linebacker, and it's a stealing touchdown. I love this scheme by the Dallas Cowboys, and this game plan lasts, Tim.
Yeah, and really, you look at it, it fits their personnel. You look at that offensive line, big physical offensive line, and when Felix Jones is in the lineup with no T.O., he's the most explosive player on that offense. Cater to your strengths and to your personnel. That's what they're doing right now.
Well, the problem there is we don't know if Felix Jones is going to be on the field that much. 6 games, 3 injuries, and of course ESPN now reporting that Jones is going to miss this upcoming game for the Dallas Cowboys Sunday when they travel to take on the Denver Broncos. But the good news is Wade Phillips says it looks like Marion Barber will be able to come back, who of course missed Monday night's game. Okay, that's the Cowboys side of the equation. And then you have the issue with Jake Delhomme. Another 3-turnover night for Jake. 2 picks and a fumble. That gives him 9. 9 turnovers on the season, the most in the NFL through the first 3 weeks. All right, so when you look at this, Tim, how much of the blame, especially on that slant to Steve Smith, how much of those turnovers, and that one in particular, are on Jake Delhomme? How much are those turnovers on other people?
If we're going to talk about that slant specifically, none of it should go on Jake Delhomme. The guy's supposed to run a slant. Get inside, run your route, and the ball's probably on your numbers. But Jake Delhomme is taking a ton of heat, and we saw the turnover numbers. But that's not the problem here. The problem is you don't have guys making plays for him. You see here on a go route, throwing it up to Musi Muhammad. He doesn't find the ball. Go up and fight for the ball against Mike Jenkins. This is a matchup that should favor the Carolina Panthers. Moose doesn't go up and fight for the ball. Then Steve Smith, when you got an opportunity to make a play, make the play. You're a #1 wide receiver. And then here, giving up on the slant route. Run the route that is called. Your quarterback needs to trust you. Trust that you'll be there across the corner's face when that's what you're supposed to do. When you do it, now all of a sudden the quarterback can't trust you, and your passing game starts to fall apart at that point.
Yeah, and all this really is, as Tim is showing, this is a lack of discipline by the Carolina Panthers. That's why they're 1 for 8 on 3rd downs in the Monday night game. That's why they can't rush the ball more. They're no longer a disciplined football team. Until they fix that, they're not going to get any better. And
they're not what they were a year ago. 2008, the Panthers were the #1 rushing team in the NFL. 21st so far through 3 games, and only 16 rushing attempts in a very tight game that ended up being a loss to the Dallas Cowboys. So much more coming on NFL Live. Starting the season 1 and 2 is Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin hitting the panic button. Survey says, I doubt it. And this just in, T.O.'s not happy, but hear what the wide receiver is crying foul about with the Buffalo media.
I'm just going with the plays that are called. Whether I like them or don't, I'm just going with the plays that are called.
Everything they fought for,
base hit,
sacrificed, and overcame, took them 1 step closer
base hit left field
to the ultimate prize. The 2009 MLB Division Series. Coming soon to ESPN America.
If you look at the current NHL, who out there impresses you as could be the next Gordie Howe or the next Wayne Gretzky?
If it's the both of them, he's got it made. No, I don't know. I've seen the 2 little Swedes in Detroit because I get to see them play.
Zetterberg and Lidstrom.
Lidstrom's at the point. He's got some room. Takes the shot. Scores! Backhanded by Zetterberg. He scores!
These kids, being European, they talk our language. I'm going back a few years, and yes, they could. And when I stepped on the ice, they come flying over there to say hello to me. And I know other guys who could need the help, a little conversation. They wouldn't come near it. And they said, why don't you talk to him? And I said, if they're that interested, no. I said, the best players over there, those 2, and I can't get rid of them. That's a good feeling. I don't care how I look at it.
Well, on the road, the Giants are currently on a 3-game road trip that has taken them to Dallas, Tampa Bay, and this week they're in Kansas City. They are 2-0 on their current road trip, but only once since 1970 have the Giants won all 3 games of a road trip like this. The only other team this season that will play 3 games on the road in as many weeks, the Seattle Seahawks. Injury news for you, and it's official. Dolphins quarterback Chad Penning's season now over. Pennington placed on injured reserve Tuesday due to that torn capsule in his throwing shoulder. To bolster the depth in Miami, the Dolphins have traded an undisclosed draft choice to Kansas City for quarterback Tyler Thigpen. Niners running back Frank Gore expected to miss 3 weeks because of a right ankle strain. 49ers said Monday night the strain was revealed during an MRI. He injured his ankle in his only carry Sunday in the loss to Minnesota. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting Colts defensive end Dwight Freeney going to miss 2 to 3 weeks with a strained quad. Freeney, always a fast healer, would be expected to miss the Colts' next 2 games against Seattle and Tennessee. Then Indy hits its bye, so under that scenario, Freeney could return for the Colts game October 25th at St. Louis. And speaking of St. Louis and the entire state of Missouri, it's been pretty bad. The Show Me State has shown us nothing. Chiefs and Rams are both 0-3 for the 2nd straight season. The Rams now the longest losing streak at 13 straight. The city of New York and the state of New York, very happy. Jets both 3-0 for the 2nd time in history, only 2000 that's happened before. And Super Bowl slumps, you bet there's Super Bowl slumps. Both the Cardinals and the Steelers 1-2. What about the champs in their slow start? Here's Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin on what needs to change.
You know, I'm not going to pretend that they're going to fix themselves. How you fix it is you go out and win football games. And if we do that, this will become a distant, miserable moment, if you will. If we don't, it will continue. That's the story of the NFL. We got a lot of work to do. We're going to roll our sleeves up, man, and start this process. That's how you bounce back from subpar performances or losses, if you will.
And if you will, Pittsburgh falls 16th to 16th in this week's power ratings. Baltimore remains number 1, followed by Indianapolis, which has won 12 straight regular season games. Giants will play their 3rd straight road game, as we said, this week in Kansas City. The Saints face the Jets in a battle of 3-0 teams, and the Vikings, oh, that'll be fun. They host Green Bay, Brett Favre's old team.
That has to be correct there.
They got that right.
On Monday Night Football. Those are correct. Trent and Tim, hush. Now on ESPN.com, check out the entire power rankings, 1 through 32. They're all right. Is your team stock up or stock down? All right, now listen. Bills wideout Terrell Owens saw his streak of 185 straight games with at least 1 catch snapped Sunday in the 27-7 loss to the Saints. Now, after the game, listen carefully. Here was the exchange between Owens and members of the Buffalo media.
Just going with the plays that are called.
Your frustration level right now?
I'm good. Just got to get ready for next week.
How about the decisions that are made after the plays are called? It's not always determine what happens. What do you think of the quarterback's decisions after the play?
I don't know. You have to ask him.
I'm asking you what you think.
No, I don't want to answer that.
I'll ask him. I'll give mine.
I don't want to answer that because whatever I say, you guys are going to turn it to however you want to say it.
Print it exactly.
Well, I just answered you, sir.
All right, now listen. Terrell Owens is a lightning rod figure, and he's brought a lot of the criticism that he gets upon himself. But he's right in this situation, isn't it? Because those questions seem to me like they were trying to get him to say something so they could print it and say, oh, T.O. said this about Trent Edwards.
Yeah, I'll just use personal experience. I've stood up there in front of the media when they're given loaded questions, and the best way to handle it sometimes is get off. I'm proud of T.O. for not getting engaged by those loaded questions.
There's no doubt that they were trying to incite something there with the questions that were asked, asking things like, hey, is this offense wasting you and Lee Evans? I mean, come on. I mean, and look, he's in a tough spot because he has to make himself available to the media. That's what you have to do as a player. You're required to do it. At the same time, you need to be shown a little bit of respect in terms of how it's handled.
In fact, he talked to one of the PR directors at the NFL, Greg Aiello, about that, and he said, no, you have to go out there and do this. What if he had answered that question? Yes, we are being wasted in the offense. You know what's going to be written there.
For T.O.
There was no way for him to win in that situation. When we continue on this edition of NFL Live, Brett Favre was Aaron Rodgers' mentor in Green Bay, but has the pupil finally surpassed the teacher? We go inside the numbers between those 2 quarterbacks with our 2 quarterbacks. And one of Favre's former favorites, Donald Driver, get his take on Aaron Rodgers' progress and what he thinks about facing number 4 against him for the first time.
Monday Night Football on ESPN America.
Cruz is in for the touchdown.
Same number, same arm.
Touchdown.
New team. He's done it again. Brett Favre returns to the NFL to face his Vikings arch-rival franchise.
Hold on. Touchdown.
Live Monday Night Football, Packers-Vikings on ESPN America.
No $1 million contracts.
Big catch. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
No trade deadlines.
Williams with a ton of time in firing. Caught. Touchdown.
No holding out.
And in trouble, and down he goes.
This is American football, played from the heart.
Touchdown.
College football is back and at home on ESPN America. Step onto the gridiron and see the dedication. Feel the excitement and witness the tradition with another season of heart-pounding action. Follow your favorite teams as they battle their way across the nation to take claim of that #1 ranking. Show your spirit all season long. College football is back and at home on ESPN America.
From Tenochtitlan to Sinaloa, from Baja California to Veracruz, the root of Mesoamerican Mexico is alive and well in the ancient sport of ulama. This was a physically demanding game played by the fittest of Mayans, Aztecs and Olmecs back in pre-Columbian era. Ulama is known to have been played in many different ways, the most popular being when the participants hit a 9-pound rubber ball only with their hips. This is why it's still popular in communities throughout Mexico. The object of the game is for both teams to play the ball back and forth, forcing each other to commit an error. The first team to reach 8 points is declared the winner, but how they can get the points is difficult as the sport has a complicated scoring system. And to get to the 8 points, well, that's easier said than done, since matches can end quickly or go on for hours as they did centuries ago. Stay tuned for more amazing games right here on ESPN.
Sunday Night Football on ESPN America.
Cruz is in for the touchdown.
Week 4, and it's a live triple header. The Ravens take on the Patriots.
And is caught for the touchdown.
The Cowboys ride into Denver to face the Broncos.
Hold on. Touchdown.
Then the Steelers host the Chargers. A live NFL triple header, Sunday night on ESPN America.
What to watch for Monday? Brett Favre will face his former team for the first time as the Vikes host the Packers on Monday Night Football. Should be a good one. And joining us now on NFL Live is Donald Driver, one of only 5 players who can say they've caught a touchdown pass from both Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. And we're joined now on NFL Live by Packers wide receiver Donald Driver. Donald, big win Sunday in St. Louis, but the offense so far through 3 games not clicking like it was a year ago. What's been the difference?
I think we've just been struggling on, pre-snap penalties, dropping the ball. I mean, just little minor things, the fundamentals of the game. We've been slacking on those. But, the first 2 games we didn't play well with the offense. I think the third game we got a little bit better against St. Louis, and that's what we have to do. We have to continue getting better and better as the season goes on.
Nobody came into last season with more pressure on them than Aaron Rodgers. He responded magnificently. What do you see better in his game in 2009 so far?
So he's just comfortable. He's comfortable with being the leader of our offense and being the leader of his team, and that's what we need from him. And he's been out there day in and day out leading us to where we want to go, and that's to the Super Bowl.
Okay, you've had a quarterback who had that kind of belief before. His name was Brett Favre. Now that you know he's back and he's playing for the Vikings, what's it going to be like going up against a guy that you caught so many balls from?
I don't know. It'd be a shock at some point, but I think the biggest thing is that, the Minnesota Vikings want to beat us as bad as we want to beat them. So it's going to be a battle.
How will the fact that Favre is playing for the Vikings make this game more than just another game against Minnesota?
I don't know. I think it's crazy because you never would expect him to be in another uniform, especially a rival team. But to us, it's no big thing. It's just another game for the Green Bay Packers.
Really? There's no extra at all?
No extra.
Come on. Come on.
We always say this. It's not one man that makes the game. It's a team. And so it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle between them.
All right, take away the circus of Minnesota, Favre, Green Bay playing against them for the first time. What do you think the key is for you guys to come out with a win here in a key NFC North battle?
Oh, just don't, I think it's not to turn the ball over and don't have those mental mistakes and pre-snap penalties. And that will hurt us in the game against Cincinnati and also in Chicago. But we end up pulling that game out, and we had a good game against St. Louis. So if we don't have the pre-snap penalties and the mental mistakes, then we should be good.
What would you say to Minnesota fans that saw that miraculous comeback from a guy who's been on the field with him doing those before?
What would I say to they fans?
Yeah.
We hope it don't happen again.
Well, listen, it's going to be a fun night. It'll be a fun atmosphere on Monday night when the Packers go to Minnesota. Donald Driver, we appreciate the time.
No problem. Thank you.
It will be the circus, no question, on Monday Night Football on ESPN. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 3 seasons in Green Bay before getting the job in 2008. So far, he's done just tremendous. And in 2009, Rodgers has yet to turn the ball over, something he did 16 times last season with 13 picks and 3 fumbles lost. All right, lots to discuss here, but real quickly, before I get into this Brett Favre discussion, do either of you buy the fact that Donald Driver says, it's no big deal, no big thing, it won't be a part of it all?
Not even a little.
Just checking. We love Donald Driver. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Tim, a lot of people were like, really? Brett Favre's coming back again? We're going through this drama again? Yeah. What did you learn about his comeback in Minnesota on Sunday? Well,
I think we learned that it isn't about getting revenge. I mean, so much of the talk about being tired about Brett Favre, will he or won't he play, was, what's behind this? What is it? Is it about money? Is it about getting revenge on Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy? What is it about? Well, guess what I found out? It's about loving to compete, loving playing the quarterback position, and loving playing the game, and having moments like this that many quarterbacks don't get to experience. Brett Favre has had plenty of them, but those moments, you never forget them. A touchdown pass like that to Greg Lewis to win a game, you'll always remember it. The guys on the team with you will always remember it, and you can't take that away. It's not about Ted Thompson, Mike McCarthy. It's about loving those moments.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the revenge thing will be talked about coming up this Monday night when they play the Green Bay Packers. But the guy I'm most concerned is the other quarterback, and that's Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers has played with a chip on his shoulder ever since he got this job last year. He's gone out to prove every single week that the fans can forget about Brett Favre, that he's ready to take this team to the next step. I've talked to Aaron Rodgers. He's adamant about making this one of the best years in Green Bay Packers history. He believes he can do that at the quarterback position. I'm concerned he comes out and puts too much pressure on himself, tries to show up his mentor, Brett Favre, and maybe tries to play outside of his ability.
Just so people understand, the last time a quarterback not named Brett Favre won a start for the Packers in Minnesota, his name was Mike Tomczak. In 1991, he was 6 of 9 for 45 yards and a touchdown. So clearly, Tomczak saved that game. It is all coming for you next week on Monday Night Football. Brett Favre squaring off with the Vikings against his old team, the Green Bay Packers. Packers-Vikings in Minnesota on ESPN's Monday Night Football, 8:30 Eastern. Still ahead, we have 2 quarterbacks on the set. We get their perspective on the top 6 quarterback moments from the week that was.
Coming up, PTI. Tonight on ESPN America.
Snap this back to Ronnie Brown. Run to the right.
Oh, yes!
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Wildcat. That's our playbook now.
Once again, direct snap to Ronnie Brown. Fakes it to the left. Throws to the right.
Yes! He's got it!
That's where it's going to be. Whatever it takes. Wildcat offense again. And it once. Now tips it back.
Oh, my God!
Downfield. He's got a receiver. It's going to be a touchdown, Dolphins.
NFL on ESPN America.
ESPN America is back on the ice. We've got the very first regular season game.
Away they go.
As 2 of the oldest NHL teams take to the ice in Toronto. It's Canadiens Leafs.
Go right into the slot. Scores!
Then in Colorado, Joe Sakic retires his jersey as the Sharks take on the Avalanche. An NHL doubleheader. Thursday on ESPN America.
only appearance of the season on Monday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys did indeed come from behind to taste greatness. The win was the Cowboys' 42nd on Monday Night Football. That is the most of any team in NFL history. And this week on ABC's Saturday Night Football, the Oklahoma Sooners take on the Miami Hurricanes. Some of you will see USC facing Pac-10 rival California. ABC's Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Our quarterback news for you. The Eagles have released Jeff Garcia, signed linebacker Jeremiah Trotter. The reason we bring up quarterbacks, we want to get your two quarterbacks' takes on the top 5 quarterback performances of the week that was. Why don't you start us, Trent, with number 5?
Well, number 5 is a special one. This guy doesn't get talked about a whole lot, but Sean Hill, watch this dime he drops in there. In the zone between 4 defenders. Look at the anticipation, the trajectory of the ball, anticipating where Vernon Davis is going to be. This puts him up 24-20. Should have won the game for him, Tim.
Yeah, and we like the throws, but we certainly like the scrambles as well. Mark Sanchez against the Tennessee Titans. Get the first down, get down. No, get in the end zone. Look at him lower the shoulder.
No.
Ball security not that great, but look at the effort. Your team is going to rally around a guy that plays like that.
Number 3, Aaron Rodgers to Donald Driver on the touchdown catch. A lot of great plays from this game, but look at Aaron Rodgers go 1, 2, on the move, they're not open, flip the hips, and throw an absolute laser to Donald Driver's the third read in the end zone.
And we see this guy every week making plays when the play is broken down. Ben Roethlisberger getting pressure from Robert Geathers as the eyes are downfield. He tries to buy some time. Whoa, look at the little move. Knows where he is behind the line of scrimmage. He's able to find Willie Parker. Gets himself. And number 1, and I don't know that we could necessarily go with a play other than this one.
Correct.
Brett
Might be for the season.
I mean, look at this. Yeah, dude, the last 5 seasons. Look at this. Movement in the pocket and then the absolute laser.
And let me take you to the quarterback's perspective on this one. Anybody in the end zone, look at the X back there. Do you see any receivers? 20 yards of absolute perfect ball to win this game.
It was a laserious dime. That's what that was. Quarterback play, and then you have the Cleveland who are struggling. They changed quarterbacks in the game against Baltimore. Eric Mangini says he's going to make his announcement about his starter for this week on Wednesday. What do you think of the way he's handling the quarterback situation?
Well, I think it's an example of everything the Browns do is an example of how not to handle the quarterback. Football league, you cannot train them, you cannot develop the talent on your team when you hold the offense hostage to bad scheme.
I think you need to get an opinion about it. I mean,
We're back at 7:30. We'll let Tim talk then.
I've heard everything from scouts.
Caught out at second by Pedroia.
He's too small.
What a play!
He doesn't have any bat speed.
There's a high drive, left field by Pedroia.
I don't have any power.
Pedroia has gone deep in consecutive at-bats against Casimir.
I can care less what they think.
Dustin Pedroia is incredibly high.
In a sport where the most valuable player award is usually the domain of larger-than-life power hitters, Dustin Pedroia has spent a lifetime striving to measure up. Pedroia is one of only 8 players ever to win Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, a Gold Glove, and a World Series ring. Appropriately enough, Pedroia excels at playing small ball. In 2008, he led the American League in runs scored and stole 20 bases in 21 attempts. His size, or lack thereof, guides Pedroia's old-school approach to the game.
Safe! No!
I'm always going to be diving for everything. That's just who I am, and it doesn't matter how big or tall you are. You know, if you want to win and you want to play this game, then you can do it.
There's a drive hammer to left field. Dave Crawford back, looks up. You can forget about this one.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Bob Ryan. You know, I was in for Tony yesterday, and now I'm in for Wilbine. What's going on around here?
Tony Kornheiser, couple trouble. I don't want to talk about it.
All right, we won't.